Very good evening, students. Today we will deal with adverb and its kinds. So at first, let us know and let us see what is the parts of speech we called adverb. Basically, most adverbs tells you where or when something is done. In other words, they describe the manner, place, or time of an action. Means remember one thing, something, a word that is adding something about a verb, we can call it an adverb. Means it is telling something about the action, when it is happening, where is it happening, and all sorts of things like that. That is how adverb means a word, particularly that tells us something about the action and the verb sequence. Let's move on to the next slide. Commonly, adverbs are formed from adjectives. Yes, previously you read adjectives, and from these adjectives we can form adverbs. There are certain rules. The most general and common are the kind, kindly, happy, happily, means adding ly at the end of the word. But don't think this is the only way. This is one of the ways we turn adjective into an adverb. And while adding ly, if the main word ends with y, that y will be transformed into I. We need to supplant y by I and then add ly. If the word ends with l, so we need to add another l and then y, like wonderfully, like beautifully. These words generally ends with l, and that is the reason we add another l and then y with it. So the thing I was telling, let's move on to the next topic. The next one is make adverbs and with ly. You make these adverbs by adding ly to adjectives. Yes, see, now some words that end in ly are not adverbs. Some adjectives are end in ly too, means they are not always adjectives. For example, Sam was feeling very lonely. Here, lonely. How is Sam feeling? Or how was Sam feeling? His condition. She was wearing a lovely dress. Here, lovely means dress. It qualifies the noun dress. This is an adjective here. But lonely here, how he was feeling. This is telling something about the verb, which means we can call it an adverb. But here lovely, though ly is attached to it, but it describes something about the dress. How is the dress? It is lovely. So that is why, if any word is ly at end, don't think this word and don't consider it to be an adverb. So next move on to the next topic. Next topic is, the last example is remaining here. It was a very lively party. What kind of party was it? Lively party. Here lively means something that is full of life, means jubilant, that kind of thing, which makes it an adjective instead of an adverb. Kinds of adverbs. All these parts of speech, they have different kinds, and they have their own classifications. Previously, I mentioned you and I showed you how to classify them, how to determine which type of verbs of speech they are. This is no such exception. Here also, in case adverb, here also it is divided into different types. First one is manner. Manner means how the action is being taken place, how the action is done. That manner, if that word is describing something about the verb, how the verb is being performed, then we can call it adverb of manner. Then comes adverb of place. You know that place means something that is associated with a place, means an area. Some describes where an action is done, means it is the very position, particular position of the action where it is being performed. So these those words that denotes and that describes, that tells something about the very place where the action has been taken place, those words will be called adverbs, and their kinds will be adverb of place. Next, come to the next type, next classification, that is time. Now, time means you know when the action is taking place. So remember one thing, manner means the way the action is taking place, place where the action is taking place, time when the action is taking place. So you ask that particular word when, if there is any answer, then that particular adverb will become adverb of time. So here, adverb of time, when an action is done. Frequency, it shows how many times an action is done. Frequency, sometimes let me tell you that I often visit mall or big bazaar or a particular shop or a football ground or a public theater, something. So means you often visit there. Means what is the frequency? Often. Means almost every day you visit there. That is why we call it frequency. Then comes purpose or reason. In what purpose the action is being taken place? What is the very purpose of the action? So now let's see how we use these classifications in a sentence and how they are used, how to determine them. Move on to the next slide. Oh, one more kind is there. Affirmation, negative, negation, I have written here as a different type, but you can go with all other things. So quantity or degree means it shows how much or in what degree or to what extent, how far those things have gone. So quantity, you know, you have already read about the quantity while reading countable noun, uncountable noun, quantity, quality. In case of adjective also, quantity, quality, you read there. So this is the same type of thing, but here quantity and quality, these are things which are related to the action of the verb instead of the subject or the noun or pronoun. In case of adverb, this quantity was related to the noun or pronoun, but in case of adverb, this is related to the particular action. Action. Now comes affirmation, which says yes if it is yes and no if it is no. Is that type of thing we call it affirmation of negation kind of adverb. Next, move on to the next slide where it is written that adverb of place. First, we are discussing adverb of place. So some adverbs and adverb phrases answer the question where. I told you while defining it, and if there is any answer, then you can call it adverb of place. The boys are playing upstairs. Where are the boys playing? Upstairs. Upstairs qualifies the word playing and where that play action is being taking place. That is why we call it adverb of place. Same way the other things are going on. The dog is in the garden. So in the garden, that is adverb phrase. This is not a particular word that we can call adverb, but an adverb phrase. And that is answering the question where. Now it's very sunny but cold outside. Where is it cold? It is outside. That is how those words which are telling something about the action, and they are particularly telling the very place where the action is being performed, we can call it adverb of place. Next comes some more examples of adverb of places. I have lived here. Here means a particular place where you have lived. Now English and German are closely related. How close? Closely related means place. They are not far away from each other. Is Mark still in the bed? Adverb of places. Where is he still? In the bed. Everywhere. So these are the things we call adverb of places. So that's how, students, you need to revise it from your textbooks, and after that we will ponder over it, we will describe it more elaborately, and all other kinds will be discussed, explained, and all your doubts will be cleared. While reading the book, your textbook, the moment you are coming across any type of difficulties, relate it to me directly. Don't get hesitant. Just relate it to me and I will do my best to explain it for you. So that's all for today, students. We will deal with it and we will continue this chapter. Let's call it a day.